We don't have any microphones, so we're going to have loud voices and no chatting. How's that? Did you hear that?
Sorry.
I'm kidding. The board met in closed session. We voted to approve stipulated expulsion 116-17 and confidential student settlement 16-17 and 17-16-17. No other action was taken. The flag salute and Matt, if you'll lead us since.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Student board rep comments. We'll start with Matt again.
So this is quick because we had February break, but just kind of a quick update. Leadership interviews are happening, so we have 40 spots, and we had over 70 applicants, which puts us at the acceptance rate of some small colleges, which is really great. We have so much interest in the program. So the next month, you'll know who your next elected representative will be and who will be replacing me in this chair. So that's really fun.
Wow.
So some stuff that's coming up. We have Sadie's this weekend, which is on Friday. The theme is Under the Sea, so I expect you guys to be in sailor suits and mermaid tails, and it's going to be really fun. And we also have the annual Lit Up. This is about 4 or 5 years strong. But what it is it's like, for those of you that don't know, it's this is actually a phenomenon across a bunch of high schools. And we have like everyone lift up or mouthing to a song, and then we kind of go through the entire school, and all these different groups are represented. And it's really fun. Maybe I can show you guys on video. It's great. Club Day was also a really big success. We had about 80 clubs present, which is 20 more than last year. We had 19 sign up this semester. So kind of this upward trend in people that are kind of getting involved in the school, which is really great. Also, we have LGHS hosting its second very successful job shuttle program at LGHS. This year we had over 150 people sign up in the first 30 minutes that signups were available, and over 300 people registered overall. We have about 70 companies that are hosting, all the way from San Francisco 49ers to Google and Lockheed Martin, which is really kind of awesome. And then sports. So girls basketball is continuing a great season. They're moving on to CCS semifinals. Boys are also moving on to semifinals, so that's really exciting. And it's all on Wednesday. And LGHS soccer. So girls soccer is going into its semifinals. Teams are in first seed, which is really impressive. They beat a lot of really great teams, and we're excited to see where they go. And for wrestling, Alex Acevedo was the CCS champion in his weight class this Saturday, which is pretty impressive.
Who was that?
Alex Escudero?
Alex Escudero.
Oh, okay. That's great.
And then just some other sports that are early in the seasons. I won't tell you everything because there's so many. Badminton, baseball, boys golf, boys lacrosse, boys tennis, boys volleyball, girls lacrosse, softball, swim, and dive, as well as the track team, are all getting started. So we've got lots of people out on a lot of different fields. That's it for the Los Gatos report. We're in really ship shape, and we're all happy here. And we're ready to continue another fun full semester. So.
Thank you. Nathan.
Sorry
The
about
reporter, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So this Saturday we have the Special Olympics Northern California and Benefit Fashion Show from 5:30 to 9 p.m. And there will be like 170 student models like displaying their outfits from like a bunch of different clothing companies. And Mr. Saratoga is tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. And it's basically a male beauty pageant show that's hosted by the senior class office, and that's a lot of fun to watch. And then right now we have our school's March Madness basketball tournament going on, and that's hosted by the ASB. And that's basically like students can make like teams of 4, and we play 4-on-4, and it's like a huge round robin tournament. And the final champions, they get a prize that's set up by the ASB. And then the boys varsity basketball game. They play this Wednesday at San Francisco for their third round of CCS. After they beat out 2 teams on Wednesday and Saturday. And the girls, they sadly lost on Saturday, and it was our Coach Davies' last game of his coaching career. So a lot of gratitude goes to him for coaching them many years at Saratoga High School. And then our Saratoga High School dance team will be performing at Orlando this Friday, and we have a jazz cabaret coming up March 11th at 6:30 p.m. And also, Saratoga is also planning on doing our first lip dub on March 27th throughout the whole school, and that's hosted by our rally commission. And that's also during Spring Fling Week, where we have powder puff games where girls play football and guys do cheerleading. And we have our Spring Fling dance on March 25th. And that's about it. Thank you.
So does Mr. Saratoga have to have talent too, or just?
Yes, he does. There are a number of categories that they have to fulfill.
Well, thank
And
you
it's a
for that.
scholarship competition.
Oh,
Not just
okay.
a beauty pageant.
You better cover that one, that's for sure.
Well, thank you both for those great reports. Next, it's Heath with Community Partnership Recognition.
So if I could have representatives from the Classic Car Wash come up. You want to introduce yourself to the board?
Yeah. I'm Mike Davis, the Director of Operations for Classic Car Wash.
I'm right now.
I'm Jesse Lorcella, the General Sales Manager for Classic Car Wash.
So we asked this gentleman to come tonight as our post-secondary program would like to acknowledge Los Gatos Classic Car Wash for providing job opportunities to our students. The managers immediately saw the potential in our students and recognized their individual passion for working with cars. Classic Car Wash treats our students as part of their own team. We are proud to have such an ideal partnership with this business. With their support and advocacy, our students are actively and meaningfully contributing to their community. The post-secondary program staff, students, and their families would like to express gratitude for your support. And we have a student here who would like to say a couple words, and then I will present them with a certificate and a photo. Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah, but you want to help me out? I'm going to hand them the certificate. You got a certificate? Yeah, you're in that photo. So we have our entire class that took a picture and thanked them, and then a certificate that we
For the record, Kev had a whole speech and he's been reciting it, flawlessly. So I think he just got a little frozen. The general manager's here.
You know what? I can sympathize.
Yeah.
Can we get the script sent to the board?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Congratulations, thank you so much.
By the way, guys, just a total aside, you guys do excellent work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to
Everybody, including the staff over here.
Thank you, Kevin.
Classic Car Wash, you're indispensable.
Keith, you want to do a picture?
They do a
Yeah.
great, yes.
They do.
Right. such a great representative of that program. And thank you to Classic Car Wash for being such a great partner for us. We really appreciate it. And all of us appreciate Classic Car Wash. I'm happy to be here, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have Matt again to introduce the Student of the Month from Los Gatos High School.
Alex, do you want to stand?
Not
It's just,
necessary.
yeah, it's just
Just
not
find
used
a
to,
spot.
that's it. So, we want to recognize Alex today, this month, actually, as a wonderful student at Los Gatos High School. Alex is currently a junior and an excellent student at Los Gatos. She earns a 3.97 grade point average to date. She's a key player on the varsity girls basketball team and consistently has provided excellent leadership and strength in her team with a series of wins. They even wrote a recent Mercury News article that highlighted her strengths, and she's contributed greatly to her team's achievement. Alex was especially outstanding in one of her recent wins against Gunn High School last week with a double-double. Alex broke her own school record for total number of rebounds in a game with 24, and she also tossed in 10 points that game. Alex's achievements helped the Lady Cats avenge a previous 51-48 loss to Gunn on January 13th with a very exciting 62-60 home win over the Titans. We are proud to honor Alex Anthony for her positive and respectful character and outstanding contributions to the school and the basketball program as this month's Student of the Month. So thank you.
Alex, I hope your injury is not.
I know.
Oh, yeah, it's okay. Actually, I have 2 more weeks of healing.
Oh, good. And then what?
And then I get to play volleyball again.
Ah.
Yes.
Don't rush it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations to all of you. Nathan? For the Saratoga student.
So, congratulations to Joshua Lay, Saratoga High School's February 2017 Student of the Month. Joshua Lay is a fine student and hardworking young man, a creative thinker who looks beyond the concrete and a meticulous student who gets both the big picture and the details necessary to do professional, quality work. He is extremely thoughtful and conscientious and exudes a pleasant demeanor that enriches the overall learning environment in the classroom. According to his teachers, whenever they place him in a group, they are always confident that he will find a way to make the project successful. Though he is only a freshman, Joshua is positive, collaborative, and purposeful. He always has thoughtful questions and considerations to share with his peers. And his teachers appreciate his thoroughness to find out about all that is available to him and his ability to look and plan ahead for the future. According to his PE teacher, Mr. Ellis, Joshua not only is a hard worker, but enjoys the challenges of pushing his physical and mental limits. Ms. Tang shares, Joshua is in my Chinese 1 class. He is hardworking and always tries his best. He has dedicated in learning Mandarin Chinese and doesn't give up any chances to practice speaking Chinese in class. It's a pleasure to work with Joshua this year. Congratulations to Joshua.
Congratulations to Joshua and his family. And we look for many more things to come from you, just since you're only a freshman.
That's impressive.
because we have so many recognitions. It's a very positive thing for us. Next is staff recognition, and we'll start with Christy Grasty from Los Gatos High School and Kenny Heimer.
Come on, Danny. Come on, Danny. He's one of my favorite people on campus. If you don't know Kenny Heimer, he's our groundskeeper, and he cares so much to keep Los Gatos looking the way it does. He embodies to me what the heart of Los Gatos High School is all about. He grew up in the Santa Cruz Mountains and graduated from Los Gatos in 2002. He worked first in the plumbing industry for 7 years, and then he started working for the district at this school, at Saratoga High School, in August 2009. And then we were lucky to have him come to Los Gatos a month later, and he's been with us ever since, and honestly is perhaps the most positive and hardworking individual you will ever find on any given day at on our campus. In his own words, I'm never satisfied. Rain or shine, he's out there taking care of the front lawn, cleaning up after the kids, mowing, blowing, cutting, whatever it takes to make our school look as beautiful as it does. His speedy rate of carrying is also phenomenal. I don't know if you've ever seen how fast he maneuvers with the big trash cans on campus. It's unbelievable. And he cleans the front area in a way, it's a spectacular sight to behold. He's like family to me, like family to the school, and he inspires so many of us to likewise give our best each day. We are very grateful for his commitment to service above self, and I'm so proud to honor Kenny tonight. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Kenny, for your hard work on the behalf of the district. We appreciate it. Well, that's great. I'm sure I'd love you too if I knew you.
Rosemary, could I say something?
Oh, yes, please.
I'd like to congratulate you, Kenny. I had the opportunity to work with Kenny as a student at Los Gatos High School a few years ago. He's one of the finest human beings I've ever had the opportunity to work with. Congratulations, Kenny.
He was one of the first people that I met in our classified group, and I would say, we have a lot of fine workers, but Christy put it very aptly, he does not have a stop sign in his vocabulary. Really do appreciate your work, your hard work.
Thank you, Bob. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Paul, yes, you can. Now Paul Robinson will introduce the staff person from Los Gatos, from Saratoga, sorry. Jason? Shen.
Well, Jason is also
You're sure he's the staff person, not the student?
There was that question when we hired him.
I get that all the time too.
Well, we've already been there with you.
This is Jason's first year with us, but again, he knows us so well because he's a graduate of Saratoga High School and has a tremendous amount of experience. And the leadership students are the ones that select our staff members, for Spotlight. So I want to read to them a letter that they wanted me to read to you. They first of all say, "Dear Mr. Schwinn, thank you. You have been selected as our Teacher of the Month by the Saratoga High School students. We received over 120 submissions for whom students felt would be deserving of this award, and you were the top choice. This is awarded to teachers who inspire a genuine love for learning and foster a strong bond with their students. Students pointed out that you are hardworking, enthusiastic, and dedicated. Even as a new teacher, you connect with all of your students and bring a light to the classroom. You're patient, I think they mean reliable, and relatable. Your patient, relatable qualities make you approachable, and you help students feel appreciated. The way you come to rehearsal with a ton of energy really translates onto the students and the quality of the practices. You show immeasurable dedication to the music program. In fact, one student commented that you are the cool older brother they never had.
Oh.
Your band students appreciate how you are loving to everyone in the school and bring a smile to their faces every single day of the year. In the marching band season, you were consistently 2 steps ahead of all other people, anticipating everything that needed to be done. And on top of that, you understand the plights of students. Additionally, you offer individual focus for students and integrate fun into learning. You also help the band stay in tone. As you can see from all these compliments, your students love your teaching style and appreciate your efforts. Thank you for all your efforts at Saratoga High School. Your hard work, valued advice, and outstanding dedication are highly appreciated by your students, whose own comments are incorporated above. Once more, congratulations on being selected by the students of Saratoga High School for the Teacher of the Month.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Catherine
Yeah.
would like to.
Okay, I wanted to say, because I know this is excellent young man, you know, since he is in maybe kindergarten or first grade. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, he you know, when we're so glad Saratoga High School have you to come back to serve our community, and you were our drum major, you are our A student, you are excellent students, you know, now you become an excellent teacher. So keep going.
Thank you. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you. Okay, staff comments, Bob, please.
Well, you can imagine with the rain, the last month has been rather interesting with all of our teachers, particularly teachers that live in Santa Cruz and live up in the mountains. I want to commend them for really going above and beyond and getting to work whenever they can, even in the peril of their own safety at times. It's been really difficult on a lot of them. But I also wanted to thank my admin team, Christy, Paul, Keith, Greg, Jane, Carrie. We're all called to do some subbing and fill in whenever we couldn't get enough subs because of emergency days. So everybody really pitched in. It was really a nice sign that the district were all willing to really work together in a time of crisis to make sure that our kids were served. So it's really appreciative. The other thing I wanted to bring to your attention, this is interesting, there's Senate Bill 328, which just put out February 13th or introduced, and just in light of our schedule, the schedule adoption that we had last year, this would have no middle school or high school that would begin earlier than 8:30 a.m. So should that bill move through both houses, it would designate an 8:30 start time for high schools as opposed to our current time of 8:15. It's got a long way to go, but it's certainly it's in their docket and discussion. So, thank you.
All right, thank you, and thank you to the team here for pitching in. That's it's the first I heard that you did that, so I think we all appreciate that you did this for our students. So, good job.
Thank you.
Public comment, I don't see any cards, so I assume there are none. Next would be report and discussion, and the curriculum report. Oh, there is a card?
No, I didn't know where any cards were.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
All right, well. Bye-bye, thank you for coming. I was thinking you're all going to put out blue cards.
Thank you.
All right, well, you know what, why don't you do your comment and then you can fill out the card.
Sure.
That's
Should I stand anywhere?
Yeah.
wherever you
Well,
feel
there is
most
no mic,
comfortable.
so wherever you want.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, you only get 3 minutes.
Okay, that's, I don't need that much time. My name is Kelly Gray. I'm here representing Los Angeles United Soccer League. I know our club president was here the last board meeting I was at. And I grew up in the community. I played for Los Angeles United my entire youth career. I was fortunate enough to go on and play professional for a number of years. And now I'm very heavily involved in the operations of the soccer club. Really what I'm trying to I'm having trouble understanding is the process by which our soccer club can go, or needs to go through to be able to have access to the fields at Los Gatos High School. 1,700 players, 95% of them will end up going through Los Gatos High School. We have all of our players playing in San Jose now because we don't have access to the local fields. I know our membership is steamed about it because their tax dollars pay for a lot of things that go on there, and they want their children to be able to play on their fields. So really, I know we've had trouble communicating with various people. We've sent them numerous emails, we've called, we have come to board meetings, and we keep running into this cement wall. And really just trying to understand what needs to be done in order for us to be able to get access. I mean, we know that organizations, for-profit organizations, are using the fields. We are a nonprofit. For-profit organizations are using it for free. We are willing to pay. We have no problem with that. We want to support the community. We want to support the school districts. We just need to know what needs to be done in order to get access. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, now we can move on
Rosemary,
to what?
so can he leave the name and contact information?
Well, I
with
think
the
I
students?
did say that.
Okay.
Yes, so,
Okay.
So then
yeah.
some.
So
can get
somebody
back.
will get back to you. I thought you weren't supposed to comment, remember?
No,
I
we
can't
can,
win.
we don't comment to what he talked about,
Okay,
but we
next
can
is
follow up.
curriculum report, world languages.
Yes, I have the privilege of introducing tonight's curriculum report. It is world languages, and we have our department chair from Los Gatos here this evening. I'd like to welcome Ms. Sandra Plyler. And then we'll have Mr. Robinson for Saratoga, and he'll explain why Mr. Senor Rodriguez is not here this evening. So who would like to start, Los Gatos or?
I'm going to allow
Sir.
Los Gatos to go.
Okay.
So I'm new to the game. Even though I have been department chair for 3 years, I have never done a presentation. So.
But you do it every day in class so well.
Okay,
Right.
so I just talk to you.
Yeah. Just speak English, not whatever language. Get into the language.
Tell me when to move the slides. Okay, so this is our department, French, Spanish, and Japanese. And what I have done in this presentation is that I wanted to, I mean, you know that both foreign language departments in most schools are excellent departments. But what I wanted to do with this presentation was bring you to the world and give you some samples of what students in our department experience. That's my goal. So this is a Spanish class. They're doing a fairy tale. This is a Japanese class with students that have come from Japan. And here, this is a French class where they study art. And so Matisse, it's an expressionist. And so the students, each of them, created their own work of art. And then they explained to the class what it meant. Okay, so the highlights of the department is that we are like a small family, and this is not a cliche, okay? We work together as a team both personally and professionally. We're very close. Almost all of us are women, so we're very mother-oriented, and we talk a lot, and it's very animated and passionate. There's 2 men, but they tend to be quiet and just listen to us.
Smart men.
So, but you know, we're very close. This year we had a lot of challenges with personal issues from various members of our department. And I was really moved by the way that my department really supported one another. I mean, it was beautiful and it was touching, and I just loved being there with these people. So anyway, we meet all the time to share ideas, best practices, collaborate, and to discuss our vision for the future. And it's funny because today, during the department chair meeting, we were talking about collaboration. And I was thinking, wow, we have been collaborating for the 20 years that I have been at Los Gatos High School. It's something that we do. And it can be at any time. It can be during lunch, it can be in the hall. We go to have margaritas a lot. And it's funny because we spend 2 hours there at Palacio, and all we do is talk about our classes and what we're going to be doing next and sharing things. So You put us together, we collaborate, and we're thinking about what we want to do, what our future is. So our department is in alignment with the 21st century skills for foreign language teaching, and I'm very proud of that accomplishment because it's quite a change. I have been teaching for a long time, and every so often things change. This is the biggest change that we have had, and it has taken some transitions to get to where we are, because our department, there are people in our department that have been working for a long time, and now this is a new way of teaching foreign language that is fantastic. That is the best way to teach the languages, really it is. And we have done that, and if you're not aware of what that is that before the teacher was in front of the class, teaching the students with the book, open to this page, look at this page, study this page, separating everything, separating, grammar, and then we are done with that. Listening comprehension, we're done with that. Speaking, we're done with that. No more. Everything is integrated. It's about communication. It's about learning how to communicate and doing all together. And a lot of collaboration from the students, a lot of pair work, a lot of group work. Okay, I better, I tend to get really involved with this.
No, you're fine.
Otherwise, we'll be here until 11.
I don't want to be here until.
Technology is an integral part of our classes. This is linked to the 21st century alignment. We use, actually in French and Spanish, we have a lot of programs that we have acquired that are online programs. And the students are able to do it at home. They don't have to be bringing books or Word books or anything like that. They can do it at home. We use the lab a lot. They use their phones. They use their iPads. It's towards technology that we're going in the World Language Department. Okay, so we're committed to have our students acquire language proficiency and a deep understanding of culture, which is something that is happening in the 21st century. The understanding that when students do know the culture, but immerse themselves in the culture, they're learning also the language. It's not separated. Actually, it's very much linked, okay? So here are a couple of examples. This is actually one of my classes. This is Spanish for Honors. And they did a story that they created. I gave them this amount of time, and I said, okay, get in groups of 4, and then bring visuals, and you're just going to tell the class a story. And they did a marvelous job, because in level 4, they're already quite proficient, so they could tell a story and made us laugh. And then here, they're doing collaboration. For presentation they're going to do. Cooking, of course, big part of our department. And then she is doing, this is a type of exercise that, we teachers have a lot of things in the classroom, and you can just say, okay, go to the box, pick up things. This is one of my students. She picks these things up, put them together, and now create something with these things, using each item. What can be happening here? And they use their creativity. They use their creativity a lot, okay, to just talk. The Rose Scholar Award reception is a success. We have it every year, and it has become quite an important gathering in our department. Students come, parents come, grandparents come. We had last year almost 400 people attending, and we do it in the gym, and then we just honor the students that have made the World Language Department shine. It's not only about A's, okay? It's also about effort. It's also about putting a lot of work into becoming an excellent student in the language. The state seal of, I don't know how to pronounce this. Biliteracy. Okay, something that we started last year, and this is an award that is given also that afternoon at the reception for students that have acquired two or more languages. And And we, of course, go to all of these conferences, but that kind of stopped the last 2 years because money issues. But our department was very, very active going to conferences all the time. And part of it is because we were doing this transition of going into the 21st century learning. And so we needed to go to workshops and just learn and see the various things that were out there and do some networking with some teachers. And we do fracture follies. The entire department does fracture follies. Students are involved in the Spanish Honor Society, French Club, and Japanese Honor Society. Also, they participate in educational trips, exchange programs, hosting foreign students, and studies abroad, and amigos. And we really encourage students to get involved in this because, like I was saying before, it is such an important part of learning a foreign language to be involved in the culture. Plus, they're going to all these places where the language is spoken, so it's not just about the culture and the fun, it's also about the practicing and learning, and come back like, wow, I want to continue at the university with my language. That's what it's all about. And here, this is in Peru, and they were learning how to actually cook. That's why they have the funny hats. And then there was a competition, and they got prizes. It was fun and educational. This is in Puerto Rico. Last trip to Puerto Rico that the students are at the beach, and this is an African fellow that was teaching the students how to dance folklore music. And it was really fantastic because the kids got into the culture of the Indians in Puerto Rico before Spain came and colonized. So it was fun, but it was a really good immersion with the culture. This is more pictures. This is also in Puerto Rico. We went to see a school, and the students were able to see the classes and compare, similarities and differences from their own classes. And then they all came outside and they were talking with the students, and that's a bunch of the boys in the trip, and the girls were really flirting. And this is in France, and this is the southern part of France, and we did some art unit, and so we were able to visit some studios. And here, the Japanese students have made dinner, and they're all following all the procedure that is required in order to have dinner, according to the Japanese culture. More than 95% of students pass the AP test. The enrollment in world language classes has gone up steadily, okay, in the last 5 years. And you can see, and we are committed to have this continue to rise. That's what we want to see. Students work collaboremos, and so in a variety of settings and for various purposes, and you can see some examples of students interacting. We, like I said earlier, we do this a lot, from 2 to 4 to a group of 6, and it is fun for them. They can use their intellect, they can use their creativity, but more importantly, they are learning all the skills. Okay? And parents and native speakers volunteer all the time, and they are involved in our classes. We had a huge celebration for Mardi Gras, and then we used the community center, and all of our classes came together, and we had many activities going on, and the parents came and they were the ones who were doing the crêpe, which is typically what you eat for Mardi Gras. And so they were serving the students. Typically, parents want to come and they want to help us. And then they are learning how to dance salsa. And this is a teacher actually in Marin County that is also a dancer, and she came to teach our students, our Spanish students, how to dance salsa. And so please join us. I said here in a cultural celebration, but actually at any time. because our doors are always open and we really welcome visitors. We like having people come in and look at our classes so we can show up. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Yeah, any questions?
Congratulations, this is so interesting, for all the programs. So right now you have 3 languages. Do you how many sections for each of the program?
So for French, we have 4, 6, 7. So we have 7, but in reality we have 8. It's just that, I don't know if you're aware, but last year Mademoiselle Luiki took a maternity leave, and that created quite a commotion because we couldn't find a sub to replace her, and it was problematic. And so we lost some students going into the upper level 5. But now that everything came back to normal, we expect to get that section. Japanese, there are 7. And then Spanish, a zillion. I'm not sure how many, but we have a lot of Spanish. That is the most popular language because, parents want the students to speak Spanish. But we have one AP that is very large. It has been large for the past 4 years, sometimes up to 37, 39 students. And then we have 2 Spanish 4 honors. And we have about 7 Spanish 3, but then we have 4 Spanish 3 in the community, and those students don't continue. They just finish with Spanish 3 in the community. And then we have probably about 8 or 10 sessions of Spanish 2, and 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions of 1.
Wow, that's a very
It's a
promising
program.
computer.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cynthia?
When you say students in community, that means like it's not as academic driven?
I'm sorry?
No, because I thought you mentioned
Spanish in
You
community.
could differentiate the 2 level 3 classes. One has that.
Oh, yes, because level 3, we had a lot of problems with students in level 3 that they didn't continue from level 2 because level 3 was too hard for them, too academic, and they didn't want to commit at that level. So many years ago, we decided to open Spanish in the community, which is a class that allows those students that are not interested in continuing to AP
but continue the learning part.
Exactly, and they do the communication and all that, but it's not as rigorous as level 3.
Yeah, and then the second question I have is because I remember a few years back, we had parents coming to the board meeting asking for Chinese being offered at Los Gatos High School. So have that...
We offered it 3 years in a row.
There's no people signing.
Oh, so you did try to offer
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
3 years, and we had it as on course registration, and we didn't even get enough to fill a class.
Yeah, and that was actually prior to that, when Marcus was principal. And I don't remember even when, Doug, when you were principal.
We
Did
didn't
we
at
try
that
to do
time.
Chinese?
Not at that
No.
time.
But we
Okay,
have
so-
parents coming to the board, but that apparently you offered,
No,
but
no, we offered
enrollment
them.
was not as strong, so you could not offer.
No.
Okay,
There was
thank you.
no readiness.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
Do you have margaritas?
I was just
Okay,
gonna say, I wanna know when that collaboration is.
So I will explain, and of course, I'm not going to be able to do it justice as Senor Rodriguez would be able to do it. Senor Rodriguez and actually 2 other teachers and 40 students are actually in Cuernavaca. The students and 2 of those teachers are getting back tonight. They went down on an exchange program. Every fall, we host approximately 40, 50 students from Cuernavaca to come up here and spend a week or so with our students and our families to learn English and to be a part of our school for a week. And then during our February break, we go down and spend the week in Cuernavaca. Unfortunately, a student got ill and actually had to have emergency appendectomy surgery done this past weekend, and His parents are unable to come down to be with him in Cuernavaca, so Senor is staying with him through Friday until he's able to be transported and brought back. So that's why he couldn't be here tonight. So the student's doing well, came through the surgery very well. Everything is moving forward and progressing, and we look forward to Senor Rodriguez and the student coming back to us. So
All
I'm
right,
going to
well,
give
you
it
know
my
what,
best
Paul,
shot.
I think the board, from what I'm hearing here, would, not that, you know, we don't
Oh, you're going to
think
break
you
my
can
heart
do
if you tell me I can't do
But
this.
I think that perhaps we
Yeah.
will just postpone this portion of the
Okay.
report until Senor Rodriguez is back and can address any questions.
No.
So my belief in the fact that I think Senor Rodriguez got this student sick, so he couldn't do this. All right. Good. I'm
Yes, I'm not
happy
going to tell him you said that.
Okay. I'm happy to let him do it because he has a lot that he would love to tell you
Right,
about. the program.
exactly, so,
Right.
thank you.
All right.
Okay, moving on to action items. Instructional materials. I knew there was one, but I'm not quick enough to switch from one thing to another. See, this is why I have the.
This next item is a standard protocol item where we're bringing forward some novels to add to our approved reading list. These 3 novels, I Am the Messenger, Zeichen and the Alchemist, are being requested for the use in the new Social Justice Change English 12 course. And you have all the attached materials for your review about their selection and recommendation. The adoption will take place on March 14th.
I saw those books there and I thought, boy, you are really reading some interesting things.
So this course is being offered at Los Gatos High School. Is that first
Yes.
year?
It's the first year.
So maybe we will look into it if Saratoga might be interested.
Yeah, I mean, it's an English 12 class, and she has chosen to have more of a global, international, cultural diversity focus, which is
good.
great for our kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I feel sometimes when the kids going to college depends on the electives they take. They might not be exposed to the culture, although I think we are really fortunate in our community. You know, our students, learn about other culture, just like what we just heard earlier.
Yes.
But I think it sounds like very interesting topic.
Yeah.
Well, thank goodness that both high schools do a lot of collaboration, so I would think that Saratoga is aware of whatever, so
That's-
keep that collaboration going.
So I move to approve.
No,
Wait,
no,
we
you
don't
don't need to
it's
go,
not-
this is
okay.
just a report.
Next up, there are action items. First one is the CSBA delegate assembly election,
Okay, this is our
2017.
second cut at this. We've got a revised ballot for you. You can choose up to six vacancies. I'll turn it over to the board at this point to make recommendations.
Yeah, I would like to say, all the 6 incumbents, I have been working with them over the past 2+ years. And we have a great team, so I think you probably have the opportunity to read through their backgrounds, information. So what I have here is Daniel Cohen, Angelique Hauser, Bonnie Mays, Reed Myers, and Andres Quintero, George Sanchez.
Any further discussion?
Did you name 6 people?
Yeah.
I'd suggest that we vote for 5 of the 6.
Okay, so which one do you recommend?
Help me with this, Danielle.
Danielle is with Campbell Union School
Okay.
District. Angeli is with Cupertino Union School District. Bonnie is with Evergreen and Reed Myers. Yeah. You saw which one, which one you are?
I'm talking about Angelique.
Okay.
That's
You-
who I would have thought.
Yeah.
too.
You guys
Yes.
got it.
So in this case,
Yes.
Contact with her?
you want to make a motion?
I move that we remove Angelique Kauser.
And vote for 5.
and vote for 5.
Five incumbents.
Unless you
Why don't we
have
vote for one of the ones that
Right.
aren't
We can
incumbents?
Yeah.
I mean, we can vote
We
for a
can
total
vote
of
for 6,
Yeah.
so we could pick one.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
be-
fine with me.
That's fine with me.
Because all the other ones, like they being on the, to me, I think we need some continuity, and we have some ones who are newer to the delegates, which have been who have been serving like 2 years so far. I think we have 3 of them, and the other 3 have been serving more than
How
2
about-
years.
How about Carol? She's in Cambrian School District.
They came to our Santa Clara County School Board Association monthly meeting, and they each were given 3 minutes. And I feel strongly about the incumbents
But if we're
because
voting for 5 incumbents, and then we get to vote for 6,
up to 6.
up to 6, right,
So we can add one more.
We can add that Carol, who
So
is
did
a
So
new
Carol,
person.
Did you
do
hear from-
people know Carol?
No, do you have
No,
any
but
contact?
sometimes I think,
Because I don't.
You don't
be-
know.
Yeah.
What
We
about
don't
that
have-
Jody?
So it's Jody or Carol?
Jody or
Right,
Carol,
but-
right.
I
Judy
don't know.
actually is now serving as vice president for Santa Clara County School Board Association.
Oh, who's
So-
that, Jody?
Yeah, so
Oh.
Judy will be.
So
So
she
we should
would,
maybe
she
she
would
would
be
be good.
good.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to go with Carol from the Cambrian District as
Do
the
you-
6th.
Do you know her?
No, but she's a neighboring district.
No,
Okay.
that's true,
That's
that's a
true.
good point.
Okay. We're okay. So you make a motion to approve
Vote,
the
okay, good.
5?
6
Six.
plus Carol.
5
Yeah.
incumbents.
So moved.
Okay.
Second?
All, wait, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Do you know who to vote for?
You got it, Jake?
I,
So Daniel, Bonnie, Reed, Carol, Andres?
Andres.
Andres.
And George.
George. Okay.
Second interim report to Greg, the new father.
Thank you, President.
The new father.
And I brought some show and tell just for technical purposes. This has been on public display at the district office, and also obviously on the web, since last week, so we're all good. Thank you tonight for this, opportunity to present Second in the Room. This is the second of 2 kind of projected reports throughout the 16-17 school year. Cool, it moved by itself, this is good, whoa, it moved too fast.
It's automatic.
Second of 2, and this is really, after, kind of the first payroll in January, the second semester, we get a much clearer picture of kind of the rest of our payrolls, the rest of everything. And so this is how it all gets summarized. We take all of this information and bring it to these slides. And what this format we continue to see shows us is basically 3 years of what absolutely happened in our audited financial statements, and then the 4th column on all these descriptions are what is currently projected to happen as of second interim. And then the final last column is the change that we're expecting compared to last year. So on this page, the headline number, which is kind of further defined in a later slide, we'll get to in a second, but we substantially all of our kind of change in dollars available pretty much on an annual basis comes from the blessing that we are called basic aid and property taxes. So of that $2.5 million number on top, we're going to see in 2 slides from now that about 2.4 million of that is property tax increase, and it's just over 6% in increased property taxes since last year. One other piece on here, the only other positive number actually, there is an accounting piece that Sacramento is having us book relative to state revenues, so the 4th column down. This accounting piece for approximately $1.6 million makes it look like Sacramento is sending us $534,000 more, but they absolutely are not. And so we'll get to that in a split second as well. But the basic essence is this is every ounce of our projected revenues, and so we're just under $53 million budget this year for our approximately 3,300 students. This is a graphic depiction of those same revenues, and again, the big blue Pac-Man is the blessing we call basic aid, so we appreciate our blessings for that. This is specifically our property taxes. They arrive in 5 categories, and again, a super blessing, even as short in the past ago as basically 3 fiscal years, we're from basically $34.5 million to over $42 million this year, so very, very fortunate. This is our corresponding expenditures. So Sacramento has us primarily, the vast majority of our expenditures occur in 5 categories. The first 3 are all related to personnel. All of our certificate holders, all of our certificate employees, teachers, and administrators are in that first row. The second is classified personnel, like Mr. English and myself in this room at least, and Jane, and Julian, actually, so there's a few of us in here. And then finally, the benefits for everyone. And then the next 2, books and supplies, are physical things primarily, or exclusively. And then the next category includes kind of intangibles, and absolutely it's relates to kind of services. Another intangible that's in here that's kind of a quasi-tangible, but energy and water, say for instance, so utility bills are actually in services. And the final 2 categories are primarily related to, in terms of expenditures, very expensive things. So the general fund primarily doesn't pay for very expensive things. If we were looking at a Measure E report, capital improvements would be everything that goes on in Measure E. And the very last piece is just how we kind of move dollars around in terms of paying for expenditures. The primary movement that occurs here relates to our COPS, our certificate of participation in repaying those. That's just over $1 million. 2 secondary movements that are in this category are, actually I'll name 3. 1, our contribution to our food service department, and then as always, do a great job for our kids. 2, our contribution to deferred maintenance, which occurs annually and helps us fund kind of longer term projects. And then finally, a relatively new type of contribution, but the board continues to support a contribution to eventually replace our beautiful turf that we're looking at outside. So that shows up in this category. Here's the graphic representation. Pac-Man looks a little different here, but if we imagine Pac-Man is the blue, red, and green, that is people related. So it's right at 80%, a little bit over. So that's our most important expenditure certainly for our kids. This is the kind of very interesting. We've kind of tried to swim upstream on this related to the county. They finally kind of put their foot down, and when we said, we will comply, as always. So this is a $1.6 million contribution and revenue that Sacramento is having, actually, not just us, but all 1,000 school districts book. We are never going to get this $1.6 million, but it's part of the Sacramento kind of contribution to education. Across all school districts, this adds up to over $1 billion. So this is part of kind of one of the governor's phrases, I think is, if we kind of stopped using this a little bit, but this was originally part of the theoretical kind of wall of debt, which is the STRS and PERS contributions. So over time, in the coming years, all 1,000 school districts, including us, will be addressing STRS and PERS through higher contributions. This was Sacramento's kind of foundational contribution.
Can I ask a question?
Well, do we want to have the whole presentation, or
Okay, because this is particularly for.
All right,
well,
then
I
let
can wait.
Catherine, that's fine, Catherine. I saw her question first, then yours.
Okay. So let me ask you, this $1.6 million, is like the unaccrued pension benefit?
Yes, basically. This is so starting with last year's audit, Sacramento started to kind of apply the accrued or unaccrued, or the theoretical future liability of both STRS and PERS to the school district. number is a tens of billions of dollar number. Our portion alone is, I want to say, in the $60 million zone, something like that. The basic essence is this is actually a funded piece of the contribution, so not quite unfunded. That's the liability side. This is actually a real payment that Sacramento is kind of making on school district's behalf. The less than happy part is that why it has to sit on our books is kind of odd, but we're game to do it.
So is it fair to say this is a pass-through?
So it's actually, they make the contribution on behalf of the school
That is
district
correct.
directly to the fund.
That is correct.
So for us, it's a wash. It's revenue coming in, and then it's also expenses.
It does
going
nothing
out.
to our books on a cash basis. It's just an accounting.
That's right.
But why it only shows $500,000 difference though, what you were referring to earlier?
Because in the broader sense of state revenues, we're off by about over $1 million compared to what Sacramento sent us last year. So, and that primarily goes to one-time dollars that occurred last year, did not repeat themselves this year, and to kind of a secondary question, which I know is kind of out there. In terms of our multi-year projection, we will continue to, and we have continued to anticipate all of the revenue that Sacramento will send us. Revenues at the Sacramento level are projected to continue to trend down compared to what we've got this year. So we've got another
So
round.
if I move back to page 2.
Sure.
Okay. Under other state revenue, we have 3.967475.
We're really getting
It should really be reduced by this 1.6 if we try to map
2.3. Yeah.
that.
So last year we really got 3.4. This year we're really projecting to get 2.3. So they're sending us about $1.1 million less in actual cash.
Okay, and then so later on, under the general fund expenditures,
Yeah.
it will have been included under which line would that be?
Under the third line, benefits.
Benefits, right. Okay.
It's part of that $2.593 million number. So
If that's the case, so really this 12,704,475, the original amount should be reduced by the 1.6.
correct.
also,
So we're
right?
just on the cusp of $1 million increase related to those core costs.
Okay, all right, thank you. Also, this makes it look like it's over 2.6, but it's really because that 1.6 is included.
Correct.
Okay.
Our final piece, which we know we always are mindful of, is kind of our relative position in terms of our ability to kind of continue to smooth out fiscal year transitions year over year. This number has basically not changed for the last 2 fiscal years, but this is our fund balance, otherwise known as reserve, and this is the representation of both numbers in our documents that go to Sacramento. It's just over 3.3 million. It's been just over 3.3 million basically since the end of the 14-15 school year. And that's everything.
So I was reading, I'm trying to see, I think your comments regarding we are meeting the 3% state requirement
Correct.
for the reserve. But, so I think it's in a different report, right? Later on in
Yeah,
that,
so
in
attached
that
to the-
report, yeah. I
There is
remember.
there is a section in this called the Criteria and Standards Review.
Right.
It's a 26-page document. It hasn't changed since the 1990s, roughly, when they adopted SAC. But it's meant to give some words behind all these numbers. So inside of that, a lot of kind of auto-generated calculations by Sacramento's software. And one of those pieces is a comment about our reserves, including at a multi-year level. In our packet, and I'll come back to it, it is page, let's see if I get lucky. It's in the, it looks like it's gonna be in the 60s, let me get it exactly. But on page there it is. On page 62 of our packet, this chart represents how Sacramento sees our reserves, and so this $3.3 million number basically is outlined here. We are basically at double Sacramento level. We're right at basically 6%. And so that's how Sacramento sees our data. And keeping in mind that every June, in the last 2 Junes, the board has adopted this resolution, but every June, Sacramento is currently requiring all boards to kind of document these dollars beyond the 3% level with kind of words and verbiage. So we have language that's been vetted and will be back in June of 2017, and we will continue to be in compliance with everything Sacramento.
Can you refresh my memory? I think the 3% number is was presented to the board, to the district during the budget crisis, because before that was like 4%, right, or 5%?
From the data, and I know we've touched on this before, the data that I've kind of researched relative to this kind of various standards of, at the Sacramento level in terms of reserve, the size of our school district since these reserve levels have been established, with having approximately 3,500 kids, it's always been 3%. But there may have been a time where specifically here we kind of took a 4% approach, but primarily 4% applies to smaller school
Yes,
districts.
there was. Okay, good.
And
Make
then
me happy.
as the bigger a school district gets, the number actually gets smaller and smaller. So for instance, the largest school district, Los Angeles Unified, Sacramento's requirements only require 1%, but for them that's a multi-$100 million number.
Yeah, because I know, like Fremont Union High School District, I talked to their board member, I think they have 10% as set aside. So anyway, that's just a reference.
Just one or something
Yeah,
like
but
that.
you have to combine them.
Correct.
But so, but the reports being presented to us, we met all the requirements of the
Absolutely.
state. So I'm ready to make a motion.
But I have one last question.
Okay.
Before you do that, thank you. So for this reserve, 3% is what the state recommends. Is that?
I
am
think that's a
getting
fair
that?
statement, yes.
Okay, then, but we could say we want our reserve to be 5%.
Correct.
Right.
Okay. Something for
So that's the
discussion.
minimum.
Yeah.
That's the minimum.
For the future. All right, thank you.
Can I have
Oh,
one question?
one more question.
Okay, one question is, in this report, I remember in the past, we have some kind of like a projection for the 3-year projection. We even discuss about what kind of interest rate we use for that projection. So make sure our district is insolvency. So I sort of like missing that, or did I miss that somewhere? I
Yeah,
thought
so and true, so
this same format.
this has been the format for a few cycles, and we can definitely shoot for bringing additional pages back. For clarification, the document that I think you're
Page 43.
you're referencing, yeah, is on page 43.
Multi-year.
So a screenshot of it, absolutely, we can bring that back. It starts on page 43. The first 2 real relevant pages are 44 and 45.
Yeah, I think it's, I want to say, I really appreciate what you did. I think this is very comprehensive, and it's easy to read. We can always acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And, but I think having a summary, you know, like 1 page will help us to just like understand it even
For the
more
big
clearly,
picture.
instead of like digging into the report. So it's something we can shoot for in the future.
Yeah, I really like to see that projection, so then we make sure we are physically responsible, you know, for the projection for our solvency of district. So thank you. It's a
But so
great report.
actually, if we go by the required contribution rate, like what's being imposed upon all the school district, if we do the projection, I think most of the school district will be insolvent, right? Because they ask us to pay, like right now, what's the percentage for the STIR?
It's in the low teens, so it's basically about 13%, I mean, for rounding the numbers. But yes, that number is projected to go into the low 20s. The PERS contribution, which is the similar contribution tied to non-teachers, that's projected to go closer to 30. In all scenarios.
30%.
30%, correct. Where
Okay.
we are, again, kind of thematically, we are very blessed to be a basic aid district. Everything I have in Excel, all things equal, which gets tougher and tougher to project the further and further we go out, but all things equal, we will be able to continue to meet not just what Sacramento wants, but what we need, programmatically and otherwise. Comparatively, again, about 1,000 school districts in the state. The approximately 950 that are not basic aid school districts will have a lot of challenging conversations in the very near future. So we're gonna be able to have examples out there of conversations that then we're gonna have to kind of continue to evolve and kind of update our own practices kind of after 95% of most districts do.
Can you also refresh my memory, because I remember reading some emails about, is that PERB changing their rate?
Yeah.
PERS and STIRS.
Yeah, so what was the rate they used before and what's the rate they
It was
project?
in the 7s, and I want to say they went from 7.5 to 7.0.
Yeah, I think they dropped 25
If you like, we
basis
can
points.
send that in the Friday letter. We'll show you all the increases that are projected.
Okay,
in
that
both
would be,
employee groups,
that would
okay?
be helpful.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. So I'm ready to make the motion to approve the intern report, second intern report.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion
Thank you, Greg.
passes
Thank you.
unanimously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, great report.
Yes, thank you, Greg.
Thank you, guys.
Next is the resolution affirming support of students and families regarding immigration enforcement actions at schools.
Let me give you a little background. So this resolution's been discussed at the county superintendent level for the last several months. There's basically 32 districts in our county. At last count, everyone is looking at either having a discussion at the board level and or having it as a resolution to be adopted. Currently, we have about 16 districts in the county that have adopted a resolution that will look similar to this. Resolution that you have in front of you tonight has been approved by the county council from the county, and again, we're probably at half the districts that have made taken that next step to follow through with this language related to our immigrant students. I'm recommending approval of it. It's certainly a board option to have a discussion at this point regarding the language in the resolution moving forward.
Can I share with
Yes.
the board what I heard at the Santa Clara County School Board Association monthly meeting? Just about all the school district board representatives stated one way or another that they have passed similar resolution or intend to pass the resolution. One thing I appreciate from Bob for presenting this resolution is this is something being presented to us by the county board of education, so their council has reviewed it. And what I want to say is we are not really adding anything more. We are just reaffirming what we have been doing according to the law and all the cases, the precedents, cases. So,
And we will continue to follow state and federal
right,
laws
right.
related to
So,
immigration.
so I feel very comfortable with making a motion to approve this resolution, but I'm open to hear the discussion.
I'm glad we go for this, resolution. I think just once again, confirm, our mission and our belief, in serving all students in our community. So, yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah, I actually feel really strongly about it also, that it's a good idea.
Mhm.
Even if it is things that we're already doing, and of course we're gonna comply with the law, but I think it makes a statement to our families and our communities and our students that we're gonna stand with them
Yeah.
and make school a safe place for them.
For that, I make
It's a resolution.
a resolution.
No, so I make a motion, we need a second.
Okay.
Second?
Cynthia Chen,
Yes.
Doug Ramazani,
Yes.
Robin Mono,
Yes.
Rosemary Rossi,
Yes.
and Catherine Tsai.
Yes.
So can I suggest, and I don't know if has been discussed, at your superintendent's meeting, because I know other school districts, after they pass the resolution, they send emails to like parents,
Yeah.
and so then they will be kept informed.
Sure, we could do that.
That would be great. Thank
You
you.
could certainly post it on our website as well.
Yeah, but sometimes people don't always go to our
Right.
website.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a really good idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Next is reports and discussions. Catherine, any
Okay.
communication?
Yes, the board received emails regarding the following subject. 1, math in elementary district. 2nd, Saratoga High School baseball field. That's it.
That's it, okay. Board communicate, any comments from the board, Cynthia?
Yeah, I just want to say, I went with the Metro West School District superintendent and also 2 board members. I went as a substitute to Catherine because she happened to be out of town. And we went to see State Senator Jim Bell and trying to make him understand, to gain a better understanding of Metro West, and also perhaps some of the actually we thank him for his efforts of getting the grants to Metro Ed, because I think one thing I learned is Jim Bell not only, I think when he talked to you, he would suggest you to contact certain individual, but last time when we got the grant, the state grant for CTEs, it was heavily allocated, granted to the Southern California. So he picked up the phone and he contacted people, and then so I think we are now benefited from the grant. But I think the ideal is when we talk about a grant, it's just a one-time deal. It's not sustainable. And it was a very good meeting. I just want to report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe?
No comments.
Well, just those of us that were at Los Gatos.
Right.
Oh, yes.
We enjoyed meeting with students there and having a very nice tour of classrooms. I thought it went really well. I liked our new format a lot, and it was a great day.
It was a nice lunch with students.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the same here, some of us visit the Los Gatos site, and thank you for Christy and her team, really give us the overview of the classroom, and then, showed us some of the new teachers, so we are very excited. We visit several of the classroom was like a blend, what is
Collaborative teaching.
Collaborative
Yeah, that's
teaching,
fun to
and I
see.
think that was the highlights of that one. And then February 16, I got invited by the Guidance Council of Saratoga High School, attend this guidance Q&A for the Mandarin speaking, and then so share some thought. I think our Guidance Council, Brian Stone did a great job, and really answered a lot of the questions, especially a lot of the new family coming to the, our school district, and so that's a well done, and then I think the parents are really happy for our district really extended, the services to those students and their family to understand, what our district has been offered, things like that. So it's a well done, event. So thank you for that. And this coming weekend, I think it's the legislative branch. I don't know. I plan to attend, so I don't know if any of you will join us in that one.
I'm going.
Okay.
I wanted to go, but I'll be out of town. So yeah, take
Yes,
notes
take
and
notes.
Okay,
the rest
all
of
right.
us are informed.
Can I add
Yes,
one more thing?
sure.
I also attended the Santa Clara County School Board Association's monthly meeting, and I forgot this organization and the school district, but because the format is now they invited a speaker talking about a particular subject. And the subject we discussed that evening was, I think it's Gilroy. They have outside consultant coming to, it's kind of like a meditation, mindfulness. So actually they are, we're supposed to get more information. Once I receive it, I will send it, to all the board members. And I think Eastside High School District, they actually, like for some high school, they actually have the programs. Even Cupertino Union School District has some. So it's not religious, religious based, but I think the whole idea is trying to calm people down. And Eastside School District actually, Patty, I forgot her husband is the supervisor. Dave Cortez, Patty Cortez.
Oh, Cortese.
Cortese. She said before their board meeting, they will have like a 1 minute or 2 minutes, just quiet time, just so everybody will be, mindfulness. So I thought it's interesting, but I'm not suggesting we'll go that direction, but I just thought it's interesting to hear all the other school districts sharing.
Isn't that our school district, like a 1440 Foundation, offers something past work similar to that? It's like a mindfulness, for our staff and some of our parent or student participant in that way, right?
Okay, thank you. Always learning something. Next is the consent calendar, and action on all consent calendar items will be acted upon in one motion unless somebody chooses to take one off the consent calendar for discussion. Any removals?
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. No more public comments. The next board meeting, I believe, is March 14th.
See each other
So
real soon.
see you all then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Adjourned, right.